Hi, I'm Pat Brown, a comedian and a Walking Dead fan, and if you're a Walking Dead fan, you saw last week's episode of The Walking Dead. Negan showed up at Alexandria, and I'm sure he didn't have an Evite. Anytime somebody's on your doorstep with a bloody bat, don't answer it. Wow. Every time you watch The Walking Dead, there are always lessons to be learned so you can survive the apocalypse or just a hectic Monday, whichever is worse. So stay right there as I count down this week's lessons from The Walking Dead. Dun, dun, dun. Hello? Dun, dun, dun. Who is it? Negan. We're not here. We've gone for the week. Always arrive early. Negan taught us that in this episode. Always arrive early. People are nicer when you arrive early for things. People aren't drunk yet. And things are fresh. Especially like at a buffet. Everyone knows there's a small window of time when the buffet is a great buffet between 11 and 11:30. By the time they drop those crab legs, you should be on your 75th cocktail shrimp. Because everybody knows a buffet is just like an avocado. As soon as you open it up, it's only a matter of minutes before everything turns brown. The only thing that you shouldn't arrive early for is a wake. First, it seems like you're way too anxious. Why are you so excited to be there? Nobody's prepared for that, especially the funeral director. He doesn't get anybody just coming early like that. As soon as you walk into the funeral home, it's still a slight smell of weed because he hadn't been able to Febreze it yet. The body's not dressed yet. In fact, the body ain't even in the casket. It's just leaning against the wall with a t-shirt on and some boxers. Nobody needs to see their granddaddy look like that for the last time. And what the hell are you going to do? Sit around, read the paper, and sip coffee? If you don't get your butt back in your car and take a few drives around the block until everybody else get there, you're too happy. Did you not like the man? For everything else, always get there early. Always get agreements in writing. Always get agreements in writing. That was a lesson we learned when Negan came to Alexandria, and the original agreement was that he was only going to take half of their stuff, which was pretty reasonable considering he had slaughtered 2 of their group members. 50% of my stuff? Is that all you want? Fine. That is a good deal. Can me and my people leave? So when he comes to Alexandria, he takes more than half. That would have been a good time to show your little contract, say, ha ha, tis, 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 tis. As stated in this written agreement, it's only half of our stuff. Okay, it probably wouldn't held up with a psychopath and somebody would have died. But for all other non-psychopaths, that agreement is binding. Lesson 3, maintain your high standards. Maintain your high standards. That was a lesson from this week's episode when the Saviors came into Alexandria and they took all or most of the mattress out of the town. Rick was left to make a pallet on the ground for him and Michonne to sleep on. Michonne has to maintain her high standards. It's saying, I will meet you where you are, this pallet, but understand, I need you to strive for better. I understand that I will not be satisfied with this pallet. I need you to strive for better. In a month, I need to see a goose down comforter, a body pillow. I don't care what it is. It could be a quilt wrapped in bubble wrap. I'm going to need to see you striving for more than this pallet, okay? Don't make me leave you for a guy with an air mattress. I am out of here, especially if it's full size. What? Oh my God, you doing it like that? Really? Oh my goodness. Hey, I am not a pallet type of girl, all right? Appreciate other people's gifts. You have to appreciate other people's gifts. That is the lesson we learned through Rosita during this episode. She was extremely frustrated with Eugene. She viewed him as useless because he wasn't a fighter, only to seek out his services at the end of the episode. Yeah, everybody's not a fighter, but there are so many people around a fighter that help he or she become very successful. People that make guns, people that make knives, people that make bullets, cooks. Of course you need a cook. Fighters can't cook. It's always a fat lady making a sandwich, put it in your bag because the fighter forgot to eat. There's entertainers. I would have been essential to the fight because I keep people light in a good mood until you go out and murder everybody. There will always be historians that write the tales of your exploits that will eventually be turned to a screenplay, regardless if you're a male or female or whatever race, will all be played by Matt Damon. You always have to appreciate other people's gifts because although we may not all be fighters, we are all valuable. That concludes this week's episode of The Walking Dead. I am Pat Brown. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave comments below, and I'll see you next week for the apocalypse.